Okay, welcome back. So this is another video talking about how to play DraftKings. So I made a video a moment ago telling how to play NBA basketball, and I just want to clarify a couple things. So first of all, in the beginning of the video, I said when you open it up, you see lobby, lineup, contest, league, mission, promos, etc. That was a little bit cut off on the last video, so I just wanted to clarify that. The other thing is, I was talking about basketball. And in basketball, you get a total salary cap of $50,000 among 8 players, and I said that the average was $5,000. The average is actually $6,250, because I was thinking originally it was 10 players, but it's actually 8 players. So the average salary per player would be $6,250. Okay, so in addition to the contest that I played in the last video, they also have something called 50-50 contests, which means 50% of the players win and 50% of the players lose. So, for example, I could put up $5, and if I'm in the top half, I win. If I'm in the bottom half of players, I lose. Of course, DraftKings does take their cut, otherwise why be in business? They've got to make some money too. Incidentally, I have used DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Fantasy Sports as well. I happen to like DraftKings. One of the reasons is, for example, when I'm picking my lineups, and let me just go, I'm in NBA now. I've filtered on NBA, and I hope you guys can see this because I know there's some screen glare there. Let me just, I'm going to go into this thing. It says, again, and I'm going to go as if I were playing a new NBA contest here. That was my fault. I didn't hit it hard enough. And I have to click these things off here because those are previous lineups, and what I want to do is create a new lineup. So I go there to create a new lineup. So what I like about DraftKings, and I just have to wait for this for one moment, is I can always see how much money I have left for. So this is saying salary $50,000 among 8 players is $6,250. Now, as I pick my players from this side, I can always see how much money I have remaining. I found when I used FanDuel, I kept on having to page up and page down. Like the top half of the screen would disappear, and I kept on having to page up and page down in order to see what I had left. So I just found for myself DraftKings was a better, I'll call it a better interface. If you were to use Microsoft Excel, there's something called freeze panes where you can actually freeze the top of the screen, and no matter how much you page down, you can still see your titles. But I don't know how to do that in FanDuel. Okay, now if you're thinking, wow, this is a great way to make money, you may want to think again. What I've heard is people that have gone and studied this said that something like 92% of the money in any one contest goes to about 5% of the players, and of course it's going to vary, by which site you use and by the contest. But 92% of the money is going to about 5% of the players. What that basically says is there's a bunch of sharks that really know how to play this game and win all the time, and the people that play casually, play once every couple of weeks or months, well, you're generally going to lose. Similar to if you went to Las Vegas or you went to Atlantic City and you went down and you sat down and played poker. Well, if you go to Vegas, let's say 4 times a year, and you're going to play poker 4 times a year and you don't play back when you're at home, well, you're generally going to lose your money because those people, some of those people that are sitting at the table play all the time. I have an uncle, for example, and this guy, he's got some math background and economics background. He's got like a master's degree, so he can calculate odds pretty well. And he goes to Atlantic City or Vegas all the time. So if you sit down next to a guy like that, you're probably going to lose your money. So what this says to me is you either want to play a lot or you don't want to play at all. Because as that casual player, you're probably going to lose your money. Now, in terms of strategy, I have not won $1 million or anything, so I can't really tell you how to win this thing. What I generally do, I believe they call it stars and scrubs. So, for example, I've got a total in NBA basketball, total salary cap of $50,000. The average salary would be $6,250 per player. But, for example, if I look at James Harden here, and I don't know how well you can see that, it says his salary is $11,300. So he's way, way above the average. But he's also projected at 62.6 points, which is pretty darn good. It's actually higher than anybody else that is going to be in these contests. So I actually took him in my last contest, right? Let me just pick out somebody else here. I'm going to go to shooting guard, right? And it says, okay, DeMar DeRozan, okay, once again, he's going to have estimated at 46 points, but he cost $8,400. So if you take these high-priced players, obviously at some point you run out of money, and then you have to take those lower-priced players, and some of those guys are, $4,000, $3,000. I find the guys that are $3,000, sometimes they don't even get in the game, so it's not worth taking them. So I'll try to at least make sure, okay, his salary is something, $3,500, $4,000, and you got to play with it and make sure you don't go over the salary cap. But I believe they call that strategy stars versus scrubs. Now, the other thing you could do is just say, well, I'm not going to take stars because then I have to take scrubs. I'll take a bunch of players who are sort of in the middle, around the $6,000 range. Maybe I'll take one guy at $6,500, but then the next guy I'll take at $5,500 to balance it off. So you can try that as well. I've done that. I found it didn't make a whole lot of difference. So anyway, this is John, and I've been talking about how to do DraftKings, and thanks for watching.